I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Conversate with Us Radio presents the Manlisten Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinions on topics that affect the black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% black all the time. Please follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at Manlisten Show. Go to the link in our bio. We got movies now, we got books, we got gear. You can just support everything. So make sure you tell everybody about the blackest radio show on the internet, the Manlisten Show. I'm your host, Mar B. I ain't got to bring the crew in because we all here.
And live in color.
Another live episode. Shout out to C. Shout out to C. So yeah, man, we like to come together at least once a year. How y'all doing?
Good.
Well.
Doing good. So we'll go ahead and just tackle the elephant in the room. You know, the show started off with 4, now there's 3. So that's how we'll be moving going forward. We still love our sister, but she's on to some different projects. You know what I'm saying? She may come back here and there for a sighting, hopefully, maybe. You know.
Soon, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll let you see, even though you're a Republican.
So unnecessary.
Yeah, we didn't throw her out the group because of the
No.
current political climate. Nothing like that. Yeah.
Speaking of current political climate, I don't like to date the show, but Trump bombed Iran. What y'all think about that?
Hey, the Board of Peace told him.
Gosh. I saw somebody
told him that's what was the best thing to do.
I saw somebody talk about how we're not taking that Board of Peace thing seriously enough because of the people that are involved.
Yeah,
and he's got whatever his bylaws, he's got his own little military force or whatever. There's this dude I think we talked about him before. His name's Anthony. It's like the brother who's smart. He's always playing his little games. He's breaking down what's going on in current politics, and he's pushing. He's like, "Are y'all taking this serious enough?
Right.
We need to peacefully protest. We need to let these people know that this is not what we want." And this is all a play for him to take over the elections.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the only person I know that talked about how he was going to end all the unnecessary wars and has literally started wars, domestic and international, and it just seems never ending. It just picks a new target every day.
He won the Nobel Peace Prize. Well, he got one of the lady from Venezuela gave her hers and all that.
He's the petulant child where if he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to double down on that negative behavior that caused him not to get what he wanted.
Yeah.
And so you didn't give him the peace prize, so guess what? I'm done with peace. I'm going to be a dictator. I'm going to be a warmonger. Yeah, exactly. So, man,
he is a warmonger, a whoremonger,
a villain,
pedophile. I'll put allegedly, so they don't sue us. Allegedly, but he is a warmonger and a whoremonger. Basically everything terrible.
Right.
That's what him and his crew is. So not only is it about the elections, but they keep coming up with stuff for us to not talk about the Epstein files.
Man.
Trying to.
Yeah, hey, man. I'm going to say that's going to be the end, that downfall, but it's going to be something with that's going to ultimately cause him not to finish this term.
What's the lady who's in charge of the Justice Department? What's her name?
Bondi.
Oh,
yeah, Pam Bondi.
Bondi said we can't if we go out to everybody, ain't gonna be anybody left to leave. Good.
That's an indictment on the system.
Yeah.
Right.
We always talk about the system, how it is, and we have to try to play within those rules and try to find advantages and so forth. Ultimately, we all know the system got to go. The people that are in power, that have been in power, it's time for them to face at least some kind of competition,
Well, your boy Gavin Newsom, I think everybody thinks that he's going to be the one to run. But I don't know what it is about Democrats, man. But they love to go after their own instead of building them up.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
there's about 3 years before we vote for president again.
28.
28.
So which means next year this time you'll start getting people
Inundated.
And so it's hard to say because Gavin Newsom, like, I think most people assume that it's going to be him right now.
Right.
But a lot of things can change.
Yep.
A lot of things can change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody could step up and become the front runner, or he could mess up and put himself out the game, which he almost did. Did y'all see what he said?
Yes. And I don't know about almost because that completely changed what I thought about him. And now it's like, oh, I think we've only been getting the highlights of what he's been doing for California. And some of it sounds good, but does it just sound good? Is it perfunctory? Is it really who he is? Or is he going to get in there and do a total 180 and be this person who thinks that, oh, I'm just like you because I'm dumb? I'm not dumb. So you're not like me. I don't know what you're talking about.
But see,
I viewed it differently.
I looked at it totally different. Yeah, I did too. I looked at it totally different even from the jump. Because even when I initially saw it, I felt like, because I often do this sometimes, sometimes a way to endear yourself to the crowd or people is to be self-deprecating.
Yeah.
So I felt like I saw that he was just being self-deprecating. I didn't think he was being like, I'm dumb just like you Negroes are.
Yeah.
I thought he was saying, listen, he said it, I'm no better than you.
Right.
I got a 960 SAT score. I can't read, which really speaks to how mediocre white men can be, right?
You know.
Like you got to be Harvard level, 3 degrees, and they will still question your intelligence. And you got a motherfucker who says, I can't read.
Yeah.
And he's the governor of the biggest state of the U.S.
Yeah.
And is it California or Texas? One of the biggest states.
California.
It's California, right?
Yeah.
Governor of the biggest state in the U.S. and the presumptive candidate for the Democratic Party. This motherfucker can't read.
No, the first thing that came to mind when people started sounds like was that Barack clip where he's like, Don't feel like you're inadequate. Trust me, I've been in those rooms with these guys.
That's true, man.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
It's 100% true.
If you work in corporate America,
yeah,
it is true, man.
Because if you were a 960 SAT, quote unquote, average person, as a black person, you can't even hardly get a job at McDonald's. You know,
you a DEI hire.
Yeah, you a DEI hire. Seriously, you look at a lot of the
people,
a
true DEI hire.
A lot of the people in this current administration, specifically, and then just it's been this way for years. They have mediocre, milquetoast, just bland, just average people, and running these positions. Meanwhile, you have the brightest, the most educated. I saw something last week. They talk about Michelle. She's the only first lady in history that has 2 Ivy League degrees, and they still
they didn't want her handling the food at the kids.
Exactly.
But you got this motherfucker who
now they can
like
now they can eat a tortilla, a piece of chicken, and something else.
Now you saw. So they talk about affordability, and I'm gonna come back to that mediocrity.
Mediocrity, yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Mediocrity, mediocrity, whatever.
You're just like Gavin
I'm
Newsom.
just like you. But RFK Jr. said they was talking about affordability. He said that's because y'all trying to eat porterhouse steaks.
Yeah,
eat liver. Eat liver. Have you ever had liver?
No.
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I still
don't say you like liver, dog. You eat liver and onions?
Nah, I eat chicken livers and gizzards.
Gizzards and fried livers is different.
Okay.
Actual like this straight liver.
We used to have it. I mean, it was a thing when we were growing up. We had liver once a week.
I think back in the day, man.
Yeah.
Our people had to make food stretch.
Yeah.
But that was my first encounter with betrayal. I was with my dad visiting our cousin, but his cousin that he grew up with. And his wife was like, you want some steak and potatoes? I was like, yeah. So they gave me, I tore it up too. They started laughing. They was like, that was liver.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Now it was good because
you know what I'm saying. It was
I can say something different about it.
It was a staple in our, and it maybe not once a week, but it was a staple. We had it regularly.
My first experience with betrayal was that piece of pumpkin pie I thought was sweet potato pie, and now I don't eat neither one. I will never be tricked
I
again.
love some pumpkin pie.
I'm not
Oh,
falling
man.
for it. I don't want either one of them.
I love some pumpkin pie. But speaking of mediocre white folks, did y'all see the Surgeon General candidate that Trump put out?
I saw that she was going before. I saw that she doesn't have any type of science degree. She doesn't have
never practiced medicine.
Never practiced medicine. Like,
and so when in the confirmation hearing, the senator, I don't know his name. He's Asian. I don't know from what country or what background or whatever. But he asked me, he said, "Do you have a medical license?" And she was like, "No, currently I don't have one. I'm not trying to see patients." He was like, well, I mean, "Do you plan on getting a license?"
right.
Well, she said, "I have a license, but it's inactive."
Yeah.
You don't have a license.
Right. Right.
You don't have a license. How are you the Surgeon General and you can't practice?
Yep.
Yeah. It's like with my law degree. If I can go inactive in Georgia if I don't plan on taking any cases or doing any legal work, but then also I'm not licensed in
Yeah,
Georgia.
you ain't an attorney.
Not in Georgia.
Yeah, you're not an attorney. Like, you got to take, I'm assuming you have to take so many, like, continuing ed courses.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're not just banking on
PDH,
old science
yeah.
and stuff, so you're staying current.
And
And if you're not licensed, how you going to be the Surgeon General? How you going to be making policy determinations if you're not up to date on what is actually affecting people's health?
you can't even give legal advice if your license is inactive. So how's she giving medical advice if her license is inactive?
But that just goes back to, all the people in this current administration's cabinet. They're really not the decision makers. They're just, if you notice, all of them look a certain way. Most of them are, with people except for RFK, younger, more, some people might find them attractive, more appealing to the eye.
Did you see it was some sort of advertisement that
I already
RFK
know.
was
And
trying
Kid
to
Rock.
do, him and Kid Rock. Did you see that?
No.
So
He's
I
working
say
out-
this
he's
though.
working
I'll
out
say
in
this though.
jeans.
I'll say this though. RFK, he buff.
For a 60-something
For
year old.
for any man, he got a little cut to him.
He's
right?
working on the exterior, not the interior, because he sounds like he's dying of lung
Dude.
cancer. But
Him and Kid Rock was working out in jeans with no shirt on in a sauna,
In a sauna.
doing push-ups and stuff.
Yeah, he had a bike in the
He
the
riding-
sauna.
Purely, it's straight homoerotic.
Yeah.
You in jeans and no shirt,
Yeah.
and then they in the
That's not what
sauna.
I'm
They
about.
actually in the hot tub together,
Oh.
drinking milk.
okay.
Which is
Who you,
I don't know.
who you targeting?
And
glad I
don't
missed
know.
that.
I don't know what the advertisement was for, but I'm not buying.
Does anyone?
I'm not buying.
who you
He's like,
targeting?
I don't need whatever that is.
Right. No milk for me.
Whatever's gonna have me doing that, keep it.
What is going on? Whatever regimen he on, I don't want it no way because
Right,
the way he
right.
sounds is terrible.
He's dying.
He's terrible. Oh my goodness! But back to Gavin Newsom. I saw where this was like because it came to my attention because Nicki Minaj, she's done became a troll shield for Trump.
Yeah.
Right. She done took a little picture with him. And you saw how they played her. She said, "I got my gold card," and then they put out a statement real quick. That was probably that was memorabilia.
Right.
That wasn't no actual gold
That
card.
wasn't
You're
an
not
actual
good.
gold card, right.
You're not good. But she was going after Gavin Newsom. And the thing I like about Gavin, though, he go after that. He'll get dirty.
He
with
will.
it. And we've talked about that's
That's
what
what-
the Democrats
Need
need.
to do. Mhm.
Stop trying to take the high road. Stop trying to be nice. Meet them where they are at.
Right.
You have to. But I saw where, the assumption was it in Atlanta when this?
It was in Atlanta. Yeah.
He was doing a tour for his book.
Right.
He was meeting with the mayor of Atlanta,
Mhm.
who was highly educated.
Yep.
And they tried to make it seem, because it's Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
that it was only a black crowd,
Right.
And that was his way of trying to endear himself to black people. But when you look at the people that were going in, it was a mixed crowd.
Right. Right.
It wasn't just black people.
Yeah.
It was black and white in the crowd. So really, like I said, he was trying to be self-deprecating or whatever. And, like most politicians, they have a canned speech spiel that they give to everybody.
Yep.
So they show where he said this before. Look, I got a 960 SAT. I couldn't even fathom bragging about a 960.
Yeah.
I
Right.
don't think I would have told that.
And
No.
and you say stuff like that. I had a 960. And so what I actually did, I say, what's the average SAT score? I looked it up. It's like 1,100 nowadays. But, the scores have changed. So around that time.
Hold on. What'd you get, Doogie Howser?
I didn't take the SAT.
A Midwest ACT.
Yeah.
I took both.
Yeah, some people did,
Oh.
but I didn't. I took
I didn't
ACT.
take both, and I didn't do that well.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Arika is, we call it Doogie Howser. She went to college at age 14.
That is not true.
She was 13. So.
How old was you when we met you in college?
16. But when I took the ACT, I was in a rough time, and so I had been out on a bender the night before, and my mom was like, "I paid you
At
going."
15, you on a bender? At 15, what kind of bender you on at 15?
Milk and cookie bender.
No, I drank.
She's drinking milk like RFK.
Yeah, exactly. She's in the sauna with
Doing
Kid Rock.
push-ups. I don't believe in being out of shape.
Ah, man.
That's funny. So what'd you get?
I think I like a 26, something like that. 25, 26, something like that.
That's above average.
Hey,
Well,
that's
well
great.
above average, yeah.
Well,
That's great. But
I
let me come
know
back
most
to the
people
story.
I know got a lot. You had to get like what, a 28 to get that,
Yeah,
the,
Bright Flight or whatever.
Brooks,
No.
or it was, I don't know. I don't remember.
It might have been 25.
25, 26 is a great score.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I don't
yeah.
remember. But I
Especially
had like,
coming off a bender at 16.
At 16, right.
That's what we
exactly,
call a humble
exactly.
brag.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I knew she was going to say some shit like
Yeah,
that.
she-
too.
that's
I got
why
like
she-
a 26.
well, I,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
took it a couple times.
She
too.
dumbing herself down. She probably got a 36.
Yeah,
No, I did not.
Perfect score.
No, I
I'll
took
cut
it a
you off,
couple
Doc.
times.
What'd you-
No,
what'd you
I was
say
gonna
about
say.
average
So
scores?
average scores back then were right around 960. So he's to me, I viewed it as he just saying I'm an average person.
Yeah.
I didn't until people started saying the race element. I didn't even draw into that, honestly.
You know what's funny? You said you took it multiple times, right? My mom graduated from college, but she was a non-traditional student. She had 3 kids at the time, and she was going to school for nursing.
Mm-hmm.
Was it nursing? No, education. She was going to school for education, at nighttime.
Yeah.
So she got a college degree, but it was, late in years, right? I had my cousin Shalise is a college grad, her little sister. So out of 20-something grandchildren, 3 of us got college degrees. That's not a good number, right?
Yeah.
And I say that to say,
It's
so
progress.
there's not a lot of experience with higher education or even, approaching higher education. Because a lot of times, with us, Lav got a youngin', but with us, we got kids that have been in college. So we've been there, so we know how to guide you on what to do. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I didn't have that.
Me either.
So this is how white folks work.
Yeah.
So I took the ACT, and I think I got a 24. Just in case somebody goes and looks it up and like, you didn't get that. But I think I got a 24, right? And at the time, they would send your test scores to your guidance counselor.
Yeah.
They didn't send them home. They sent them to your guidance counselor. And I go to see the guidance counselor. He's like, you got a 24. You good. And I was like, I don't need to take it again. Because I was in the college prep classes. And all the white kids like, I'm going to sign up to take it again. And that's a pain in the ass, taking the standardized test, right? So he was like, you good. You don't got to take that again. Whatever. I didn't know. Like you said, if you get a certain score, you're eligible for more
Yeah.
scholarship.
You unlock certain.
You see how they do?
Yeah.
Now they was telling them, take it again.
Right.
Get a higher score. But they told me, like, good.
Yeah.
You good for the darkie.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're beyond our wildest expectations for you.
Good job. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Nah, but it's funny how they are really working to try to undermine anything that we do, and I see how some people are quick to play into it. Like, it's easy for them to put out a clip. This is what he said, and this is how you should take that. This is what you should take from it. When if you really dig in deeper and get more context, you realize he wasn't really trying to do that.
And
And I'm all for hazing white folks who
Right,
put their foot in
right.
their mouth. But I don't think that was a situation where it needs
I
to
don't
be.
think so. And I think that kind of speaks to just in today's society how people gather and how people get information. So a lot of times we think we're getting information, but a lot of times you're being fed what to believe about the information, not necessarily the information in just cut and dry. It's somebody saying, hey, this is what they said, this is what it means for you, this is what I think it should mean to you. But they don't say I think. They're saying matter of fact, this is what he meant. This is, and so it does kind of skew a lot of the information that we do get if we get it from, social media or not traditional media. And now with the stuff going on in traditional media, it's going to be more like that too, with all the consolidation of power within those media networks.
Right.
So it's going to be spill over into mainstream media too.
It's definitely corporate media now.
Yeah.
There was a news anchor, and I cannot remember his name, but he was a brilliant black man. He was on CNN. Darker skinned brother, had like the mustache.
Bernard Shaw.
And I remember probably like 10, 15 years ago. This is right when Fox News was really, really becoming a thing. And the whole the pundit panels and people giving opinions, how that became news.
Yeah.
That's when that was really coming about. And they had brought Bernard in to talk about, the current election at that time. And he said, to me, it wasn't my job to give an opinion
Right.
on what was happening. My job was to be thorough and to be accurate and true about what the news was, and then allow people to form their decisions from there.
Yep.
Now, we do need some people that are able to break things down
Right.
and say, like, hey, listen, this law just, don't just look at this on face value. Look at this, and this is how it's going to impact you. But just having somebody's opinion about everything that's going on, it's really dumbing us down as a people.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to think critically anymore. You trust that person to do the critical thinking for you.
And nobody takes the next step to actually go see the whole Gavin Newsom video or to go see the whole article or whatever that was written to get the full context of what was said so that you can understand exactly what that person was trying to say, or at least interpret for yourself what they were trying to say. But we too lazy.
If you think about it, we just as bad as them kids we talk about.
Oh, I
Nah,
know.
for
Because
sure.
kids, we talk about these kids as cook because they get their information from TikTok.
Yes.
And that's all that is. Because I actually told my son, and shout out to my son because he's doing a lot better when it comes to this. I said, hey man, just because somebody put some eerie music on the background and they put on some glasses and it looks like they know what they talk about, it don't make it true.
Man.
No.
Yeah.
Just because it's a white man that's saying, hey, this is it. If it's not fact-based research, you have to question it.
Yeah.
Have to.
You should
Yeah.
question it even if it is.
Yeah.
You should question even because that's how you get better.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Because what they said, like most people, when you put something out, the goal is to try to prove it wrong. And when you can't prove it wrong, that's when you know it's actually good information.
I mean, but even like for me, my whole job is we can argue different sides and both be right to a certain extent. So just because this is the side that I'm arguing for doesn't mean it's the only right side or it's the only right way. So if we're not all coming together with some interpretation and some type of critical thinking, then we're not getting the best final product or the best final argument because we're not, you know what I mean? Like we were talking about with the I was talking about with my Lyft driver about when they
Shout out to the Lyft
I
driver.
know.
Right.
When they passed the marijuana
Shout out
laws.
to Muhammad.
When they passed the marijuana laws, and I was working for the police, I was working for the city councilor at the police station. The law didn't actually fully explain how they should enforce the law. So anything in Missouri, anything 3 ounces and under is legal. Anything 6 ounces and over is a felony. They don't say anything about what's in the middle. They don't say anything about how the police. I was like, are they just supposed to eyeball it, or are they supposed to carry around scales?
Right.
Do they take people's weed into evidence, or do they let them keep it on them in the jail? Like, what are you supposed to? So the part where this can make sense, where, okay, now weed is legal, but also that's not the full story. We still have to do more critical thinking. We have to figure this out a little bit more. And they clearly didn't do that when they were passing the law. And then it has to be done on the back end. But so different counties are enforcing it differently. But now that leaves a gray area. Anytime there's a gray area, black people going to suffer. So
Yep.
it's just one of those things where if we're
Over-policed.
if we're not all adding to the critical thinking process, some stuff's going to get missed.
And that's why I feel it's important to get people who are actually experts in that subject matter to talk about it. I I got this show with my people, the Man Listen Show. We talk about current black topics. We talk about things that impact the black community. You know, we have Conversate with us, where we have people come on the show who are experts, and they talk about these things because I'm giving an opinion. I talked about how, listen, I don't want to listen to pundits or whatever, and basically we some folks that are giving our opinion, but we are a podcast. And there's a difference between a podcast and actual media.
Right.
Yeah.
Actual media that is regulated by the FCC, that is distributed to the masses. And, you know, there's a barrier for entry. You got to know us or see something. You know, people will click our show and they'll be like, they look good. I'll listen to them. I like their chemistry. I'll listen to whatever. But when it comes to an actual broadcast that's reaching several homes, you know, you have to have more responsibility in people that it can actually break down the topics and their impact on the community.
You do. And, you know, it really goes back to all media and really a lot of aspects of American culture, that money.
Yeah.
So they found out via Fox News what sells.
Yeah.
Have these people on here arguing back and forth, going Bill O'Reilly and arguing back and forth. Sometimes I still believe that these people don't 100% agree with their views, but they have to do it to sell the advertisements, to get the dollars from sponsors and things like that. And so when you put money ahead of truth, integrity, yeah, it's that's where we're at right now.
That's like that episode of the Boondocks when Ann Coulter really wasn't that way on.
Oh.
When she was cool with like black people behind the scenes.
I mean, you know, but white folks, they love being cool with us, though.
Yeah.
You know, that don't mean they're going to vote for things that's going to help
Right.
us. Or they're not going to
Until
vote.
the aliens
but they're not
come.
going to. They're not going to vote against. That's the inside joke, y'all. They're not going to vote against things that negatively impact us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They could be cool, and that's why I say I don't fool with the yo-yo-yos and the dudes that and chicks
My
that
brother.
try to be
What's up, my brother?
overly black.
Nah, man.
My friends who are white, they act white.
Yeah.
They don't try to what's up, man, and you know, do all this different stuff. They are who they are authentically. Because honestly, if they weren't being their authentic selves, I wouldn't fool with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't fool with him because, shout out to Tariq Nasheed. He hit me to this listening to his podcast. The ones that be all hip-hop and try to be all cool be like Michael Rappaports. Soon as something happens, you know what I'm saying, they turn white.
Jelly rolls.
Call the police. Jelly rolls and all that. And back to what you said on the previous show, Laugh. We have to gatekeep more.
Yes.
Especially our culture, man. That's the whole thing. You know, we just can't let people sample and use it to get to a certain point and be like, okay, I'm done with it, and just discard it.
Right.
It cheapens it. And we've seen that over and over.
Time and time again.
And what's so funny is people love to ride our backs. They love to have us out there marching with them.
Mm-hmm.
They love to use our music and our culture to reach the masses. Then they go back to what they really are: Miley Cyrus,
Man, have you
Kid
guys
Rock.
Have you guys seen this commercial, man? It's a kid at school, and he's getting bullied or whatever. He's a Jewish kid, and so
Be careful. We don't want no problem.
no. He had
we don't want no problem with the rules.
he has a sign. Apparently, it's like a sign on his backpack. So somebody, you know, we stick signs on kids' back. Everybody sees it, but him. So he goes to his locker, and he finds it, and a black dude comes in, and he covers up. It's like, don't worry about that, man. I know exactly how you feel. Then why was there never a commercial for black kids?
Right.
Why was there never a commercial for black kids?
There was a cartoon, Teen Titans. And it was supposed to deal with racism, right? And
I didn't know that was
I didn't
supposed
know
to be.
that was a
I
thing.
seen Teen Titans,
No,
but
it
I've
was
never
just one
watched.
episode.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
It was one episode. It was one
I thought you
episode.
were talking about the whole
I think
show.
it's superhero.
So
Over my head.
Cyborg was black. He was black and half
Yeah.
black. He was a black man who was like half robot.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So they had like this guest character, and he was from another part of space, and they had Starfire. She was an alien too, right? So wherever they were from, his people hated her people. So he was calling her a name, basically like the N-word, right? So he was calling her the name, and he was mistreating her, but the other Teen Titans didn't see it. So Cyborg comes up to her, and he calls her the name. She's like, "You don't ever call me that. Don't call me that." And he was like, "I thought you said it didn't mean nothing." And she was like, "No, it means nothing. It means, I'm less than a person and whatever." And he was like, "Yeah, but you can't say nothing because if you punch him out, then it'll reaffirm what they basically think about you." And she was like, "You understand what this means?" And he was like, "Of course I do." And you think he was going to say, "I'm black." He was like, "Of course I do. I'm half robot." I was like,
No.
nah.
Yeah.
That was their
So
way
close.
of approaching racism.
That's the
So
thing
close.
is, and I mean, the way to approach race, you don't approach it from a black perspective. And in the U.S., as we've seen, if it's a Hispanic, if it's Asian, if it's whatever, then it's, oh my goodness, what happened? But anytime it happens to a black person,
Meh.
yeah, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, get over it. Why y'all
Get,
making
no,
a big
get
deal
over it.
about
Yeah, get over it. That was 400 years ago.
Speaking of get over it, I never heard of the BAFTAs.
No.
Hey
man, get over
what
it,
is
man.
BAFTA, whatever that stands for.
Yeah.
British, I'm assuming it's British
Well, they was
actors in
American
film or
film,
something.
something,
Yeah, whatever.
something.
I don't know.
so they had Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo.
Who's from Britain?
Delroy Lindo's from Britain.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Oh, you are a wealth of
Wait,
knowledge.
wait. Oh, Lav is who's the dude on used to be on ESPN? Who was the dude that used to be on ESPN? He had like that knew all the stats about
Yeah.
sports. That
Oh,
TV show.
Stat Boy.
No, not Stat Boy. It was a TV show.
Oh, Schwab.
The
Beat
Schwab.
Yes,
We used to
beat
call
the
Lab the
Schwab.
Schwab.
Beat the
So-
We used to call Lab
No,
the
no.
Schwab because Lab would know all the sports stats.
Hey,
We were like,
man,
Lab is the
I
Schwab.
was watching. He was just recently on Finding Your Roots with Henry Louis Gates,
Okay.
and so
The
he
Schwab was on the.
no
No,
Delroy Lindo.
People say the Schwab white. What you talking about?
Delroy Lindo, and maybe it's like either from Jamaica and he lived and he was raised in London or in England, but he spent a lot of time there though.
I guess that makes sense because he was on Malcolm X. He played West Indian Archie.
Yeah,
But I just assumed he was.
Just
I
playing
did
a
too.
role.
I thought he was born and raised American, but nope.
Anyway, so Michael B. Jordan, Delroy Lindo are on stage, and I don't know if they were introducing an award or why they were up there, but apparently, and I don't know the guy's name. I don't have my phone. Y'all can look it up. Some guy had Tourette's. A white man had Tourette's, and yelled out the N-word.
He was there because his film about him having Tourette's was nominated or something.
So he yelled out the N-word,
Yeah.
and they allowed it to air.
Yep.
And Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, they handled it with dignity,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they said at the same time, not at the same time, but the same ceremony, somebody yelled out "Free Palestine," but they were able to
Edit that.
They were able to edit that out.
He
But
was
they
a
couldn't edit out-
presenter.
But they couldn't edit out this guy saying the N-word. And people, they made note. They said it wasn't like Delroy or I said Delroy like he was from the U.S. I said Delroy, but it wasn't like he was doing something. They were doing something where you couldn't have edited it out where it'd been
Yeah.
noticeable,
Yeah.
right? But they were just like, well, he's got Tourette's. Y'all, why are y'all making a big deal about it?
Right. And apparently he had yelled out a different part of the ceremony, the B word, when someone else was up there. And they edited that out.
See, somebody said that it's not about Tourette's, it's about systems, because the system should have prevented those words from getting on the air. They should have been
Yeah.
able to edit it out, or they should have done whatever they needed to do. But I think it's about both,
It-
because
yeah.
you don't get a pass because the N word shouldn't be in your vocabulary.
Man,
Either you using it or
exactly,
you around people
exactly.
that's using it.
Now listen, let me tell you something.
That's not a.
I'm
That's
about
not
to get
a.
in trouble.
That's not a tick.
No,
I think
it's
I've
racism.
been borderline ableist throughout this thing or whatever. But let me tell you something, man. I'm a firm believer in corporal punishment.
Mm-hmm.
I have a grandchild who's awesome. If you know what that means, she's autistic. I love her. But just because you got a problem, you know, for lack of a better word, just because you have something that's going on, it don't really absolve you from the consequences. Because I firmly believe, no matter where you are on the spectrum, you know right from wrong.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know what you did. And here's the thing. He wasn't even really apologetic about it. He just tried to make, you know, he said whatever. He didn't say, man, I'm so sorry. You know, I can't help it. So I don't miss me with the whole, listen, y'all should have more compassion because this dude's got Tourette syndrome. Man, get out of here, dog.
Exactly.
It's not a problem. It's just differently abled, but
That's fine.
also, that's why I said it's obviously in his vocabulary.
But you
He's
still
obviously
you still need to
comfortable
catch the
saying
Right,
it.
wood, dog.
exactly.
Yeah.
You still need-
Oh
that's why I said about the corporal punishment. That don't absolve you from the repercussions of what you do.
Like I
Right.
said about old girl that's a hunchback. That's not gonna stop me.
You,
That's not gonna stop me.
you know, we talked about it often. You know, when people say, "Oh, that word's not even my vocabulary. It slipped," or obviously it is.
It is.
I've never in my life said a word that I'd never have used before, just randomly.
Right.
I mean, I guess when you're a kid, you curse for the first time, but that's really about it.
Yeah.
And here's my thing, though. Why, whenever somebody does something racist,
Yeah.
or like, you know, they did something racist, they get caught doing something racist, they's like, oh, I had a mental health episode.
Man.
You know?
Man.
But here's my thing. Why, whenever they had a mental health episode or Tourette's, the automatic default is black people.
In the
Yeah.
N-word.
You don't ever say nothing about Mexicans. You don't ever say
The
nothing
N-
about Chinese people.
N-
It's
N-word.
straight
He didn't
N-word
say nothing about your
black
boys
people.
either.
All the time. And,
Huh?
You ain't say nothing about your boys either. The rules.
That
Yeah.
is- you definitely ain't gonna say that.
and the crazy part is, so if it would be more, I'm not gonna say believable, but I'm imagining that there's not a whole lot of black people presenting at that award show.
I imagine so. Yeah.
And so it just so happened when they were speaking that is the tick
Right.
that you got.
That's what I'm saying. It seems
It,
very.
hey, make it make sense to me. I mean, I'm compassionate for people that have, you know, Tourette's or whatever, anything like that. But there's also, like you said, there's another side to it that people I think are using as a scapegoat.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time I was introduced to somebody having Tourette's, it was a MTV like short clip or whatever. I think it may have been maybe even a TV show, but it was a black man who had Tourette's.
Chris Jackson was for me.
Chris Jackson had Tourette's too, but
Yeah.
he had more so of like a tick. Like
Yeah,
he didn't
yeah.
really, to my knowledge, he didn't really say. He didn't have it with words.
He
His is more so like he had like
Yeah, I
involuntary
think he would
movements.
No.
say stuff on the court, not words, but just like make sounds.
like gibberish or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But this guy, he was kind of like a buff black dude or whatever, and he would like, you know, his tick, he would like kick something, you know what I'm saying, because his body would, you know, jerk or have a spasm or however that's classified. And he talked about how, like, you know, it's problematic. You know, I get into problems with the law because I'm on police and, you know, I call them out their name and, you know, I'm already a black man, so I can empathize with them, sympathize for them, right? But the whole your default racism, I'm going to call it into question.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, one thing that I saw somebody on Instagram, and they were like, we're glad that black Americans are on this because black Americans don't play that.
I saw that too.
Because, you know, in Britain, you know, they try to act like there's no racism there.
Right.
But they say, listen, now that black people are on it, they're going to be able to call it out and people will actually listen.
Yeah.
Which goes back to us being the ones having to do everything for everybody.
Right.
All
Which
the
is
time.
which is why, you know, we haven't talked about it in a while, but some people don't like the distinction between black Americans and other black. There's a whole different struggle and a whole different responsibility that black Americans shoulder in the world. I mean, just honestly in the world, because they look to us to be the leaders of the whole black community. I mean,
Set the tone.
It's weird. Yeah.
And what's funny is, you know, the whole debate between ADOS, ADOS, and you know the diaspora.
Yeah.
Some of them love to say, "Well, y'all don't have any culture,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "What the heck you talking about, bro?" You know what I'm saying? First of all, the U.S. is humongous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You look at hip hop and this just take music.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the music that we have in New York versus the music we have in the Bay Area versus Texas versus Atlanta. You know, you look at our style of dress. You look at the way that we dance in different areas. We have culture, and people are so quick to try to steal it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you come from somewhere else, and you be like, black people ain't got no culture. You see y'all wearing J's. Where you think that come
Right.
from?
Yeah.
That come from a brother that's straight ADOS.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, I don't want to hear that, man. But there is a difference. I
There
think.
is
I
different
think although we
experience.
all have experienced, you know, systemic racism, whether that be what we've encountered here in the U.S. versus the colonialism, imperialism that people have received, have to overcome in other parts of the world. Yes, it's all one struggle, but I think what we went through really showed us that we all we got.
Yeah.
You know, just like when we were talking about earlier, and I said, you know, when I'm in the U.S., unless it's a straight sellout, but if I cross paths with a sister or a brother, I'm at least gonna give them the head nod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At least give them,
So
or if we're in a corporate setting, you
Yeah,
know, whatever,
exactly.
we're gonna make eye contact. You're kind of gonna be like, I see you,
Mm-hmm.
I
yeah.
see you, because you know we came up. It's we all we got. But when you in Europe or other places, you'll walk and you'll see another brother. You know, not all of them, but you'll be like, yo, what's up, yeah? Like they ain't even see you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference
Yeah.
in
There
how
is.
we hold ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know, I understood what she was trying to say in terms of now that Black Americans
Yeah.
are on this, but I'm like, why y'all can't do that for yourself? You know what I'm saying?
That's
Y'all quick
that's
to-
what I was
Y'all
getting
quick
at.
to look
They
down
riding-
upon us, but
yep.
then y'all want us, just like these white women, like come out and march with us.
Mm-hmm. Riding
I
the
got a problem with
coattails.
that.
Yeah.
I think that when they say that we don't have a culture, I think that what they really are thinking, even if they can't articulate it, is that we never adopted white culture or the predominant culture in the country like a lot of other countries did. And our culture is shifting. It's always like changing and getting improved upon, and people are like, you really have to be paying attention, listening to what these kids say. It's a new
Right.
wave of
Yeah.
culture and words and trends that's coming up because we're always 2 steps ahead of them. And
Yeah.
because they can't keep up with it, they're like, oh, well, you guys don't have a culture. We do. It's just shifting, and it's kind
Right.
of like unique and personal. And so we keep it to ourselves, and then once it gets out, we let that go and pick up something else. So
Right.
it's no,
Current
If
current
us not
pop
have a culture, they sure try to steal the shit all the time.
all
Man.
day long.
current pop culture is 2 years ago black culture.
Yes.
Just put it to you like that, you know.
When they came out with them Louis Vuitton do-rags, I was like,
Man,
nah, come
exactly,
on.
exactly.
Come
Next thing you
on.
know, you're gonna see white girls at the airport wearing bonnets.
To protect their vacation braids.
Oh man, hey, exactly. They already getting box braids,
Shout
so
out to Monique.
I wouldn't doubt it, man.
Nah.
But you know what's crazy, man? Back in the day, I worked at a mental health hospital, world famous mental health hospital. Signed a lot of NDAs, so I can't give names or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But they had different units. So you had OCD unit, people who have OCD. You had the eating disorder unit. You had one for like young people, like 18 to 26. You had one for like what they call, I don't want to give the name, but for more professional people, like attorneys, CEOs, doctors. You had some there for like just regular people. Then you had the adolescent unit.
The Gavin Newsom unit.
No.
The regular people unit.
right. So you had the adolescent unit, and everybody hated the adolescent unit. 'Cause, you know, most people hate teenagers anyway.
Period.
So you dealing with teenagers who have trauma and who are somewhat disturbed. That's taxing.
Yeah, it is.
So we working, and there are times when if a kid was having a particular hard time, they would get put on what's called 1-to-1, meaning somebody had to shadow them for the whole shift.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they were sleeping, you had to be in the room with them so that they couldn't potentially harm themselves or do anything, you know, harm somebody else. So this kid came in, and he had Tourette's, little white boy. So I peeped it out, and I could see how he would use it to his advantage sometimes. That's why I don't cut anybody any slack. Because I watched him one time and they were having a little group meeting and he had like a deck of cards in his hand. And I'm watching him the whole time and he acts like he has like a spasm and he throws the cards everywhere. And he's like, I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry guys. So they all, no, it's okay, because they couldn't see through it, right?
Yeah.
So they helping him pick up the cards. Then he gets put on 1-to-1. So I got to sign 1-to-1 because you got to have the proper ratio, man to man. So we talking, and he be like,
Dog.
and I'm like, I'm looking at him.
Oh man.
So his tick, he was like, and I'm not making fun of people with Tourette's. I'm mocking. I'll show what he did. So I'm looking at him, and I'm already like,
you already know where it's going.
I see where this is going.
Yeah,
I see where this is going.
Yeah.
And eventually, he couldn't restrain himself anymore. So he was straight N-word with the hard R. You know.
rapid fire.
Rapid fire, right?
Man.
So he's sitting there, and then there was a moment where, you know, we just sitting there, and he said, now, you know I don't mean to say that word, right? And I said, I think you do.
Mm.
And he was like, no, I don't. I mean, I don't mean to say it. So finally, and this is how white folks do. I was like, I'm not working with him no more.
Mm-hmm.
So they would bring in the Africans. They bring in the Africans to work with him, and he calling them the N-word. You know, we have to do rounds, so we check in the room. As soon as I walk in the doorway, and he sees me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, just so you see me, you saying it right.
Right.
So I had to take him to his 12-step meeting with the kids. And we coming back, and this is how I knew he could control it. Not saying that they all can, but this particular situation. So he says, hey, what would happen if I spit on you? I said, you better not. He said, well, what if I had a tick and I spit on you? I said, I'm going to have a tick, and I'm going to lose my job doing you a whole lot of harm, and I'm going to enjoy it. And he said, oh, okay. He ain't have another tick for the rest of his time there. He was saying to the Africans, everybody else, he see me, he be like, hey, Marvin.
You're cured.
Hey, that sometimes it just takes getting... Instead,
proper motivation.
Yeah, you know, proper motivation. Exactly. That's a good way to say it. You know,
proper motivation.
Compassion only goes so far, and you know, be compassionate with him. Sometimes you just need to get the right motivation.
Why you put your kicked your foot like you just got to put your foot in somebody's ass.
Hey, you saw that? That was my tick. I didn't mean to do it.
Right.
I didn't mean to do it. So, but.
Right. Nah, man. But, you know, we're not playing those games going forward, man. But, you know, want to give a big shout out to the men and women who are going to be put in the line of fire. You know, we don't like to date the show, but this morning, the U.S. and Israel decided to bomb Iran. There's a saying, old men start wars, and young men and women die in them. And we know that a good number of ADOS, black men and women, serve in the United States military, armed forces, and we just want to, you know, send our prayers and our blessings to them and to their families, that they are safe, and that this war isn't prolonged, because, you know, it's not. I thought that they disabled Iran for years with that bomb when they bombed them last year. So if they disabled them for years, why are we attacking them now? I don't understand.
Man.
You're not supposed to understand.
You're not supposed, and you know, I saw somebody say Iran has been 2 weeks away from producing a nuclear weapon for 30 years. You know, 30. And so it's one of those deals where there's something else ultimately that you're trying to get, or we're you know, looking to accomplish.
The tail wagging the dog.
Yeah, and you know, that's how disposable certain people are to some people in power.
Right. You're right. Yeah, man. So I think when was the last time we recorded? Last year we were together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we recorded last year, and then we did once in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe twice in Kansas City.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, it was
I
twice in
think so.
KC. Yeah, because I remember the first time we recorded. That's when Russia invaded the Ukraine, and Enrique was like, "I want to give a shout out to Putin for stopping COVID," because you remember when they invaded the Ukraine, everybody was like, "Hey, we back out now, dog.
Yeah, we
yeah,
outside.
yeah.
We back outside now."
Yeah.
But yeah, like we said, man, shout out to C, but we moving on. We got the three of us. We sticking to it. We're gonna be adding a lot of new things. We're gonna do some live streaming with the Man Listen Show on YouTube and on other platforms as well. So you'll be able to donate to the show with our super chats. And the other thing that we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be adding the phone line, so you all can be able to call in, not live into the show, but if we have a topic, you want to give a comment, if you want to ask a question to the Man Listen Show, you can call, leave a voicemail. We'll play it on the show. We'll answer your question on the show. Call in, let us know what you think about us. We got an attorney on the set. She good at arguing and debating. and Lab is with the facts. I'm just the one that just introduces the show. They the ones that carry it.
Here we go.
We're gonna have the phone line so people can call in. We'll be doing some more live streaming.
So
What you say?
Getting your Gavin on that self-deprecation.
I'm just like you. I got a 24 ACT. Nothing's gonna beat though. I was on a bender and I got a 28.
I did not say that.
How you on a bender at 14?
I wasn't 14. I was 16.
No, you was not no damn 16.
I was
I mean,
16.
if she started, you take it spring your senior year. Or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
No.
Yes. I didn't start taking my parents did not help me do nothing with school. I just started taking the ACT because my counselor was like, I'm gonna graduate early. My counselor applied to all my colleges. I didn't apply to any colleges.
Okay, Doogie. Well, listen. Then we talked about it enough. Make sure y'all, stay in tune with the Man Listen Show. We're gonna have a lot of changes coming up, but we appreciate y'all. What are we? 8 years? What's this? How long have we been doing the show?
Yeah,
I just already been on the
we'll
show.
say somewhere around there.
Yeah.
8 years.
Man,
Sure.
hold on. That was 8 years. It was
Yeah.
8 years because we started.
About 18.
My son was like 15. Now he's 23.
Man,
God, we're old.
long time.
I'm a
That's good.
grandma now.
Me too.
Yeah.
In fact, it's my grandbaby's birthday. Shout out to Alexi.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Pisces in the building. You know
Hey.
what I'm saying? So we got 2 October babies, but only one like really sucks because we don't mess with the Scorpios. You know what I'm
Allegedly. Except he's never too far away from is the crazy part.
Well, shout out to my son. He's a Scorpio.
I'm trying to get real specific.
Yeah, I fool with him though. But yeah. But listen, we appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all go to our Facebook and our Instagram at Man Listen Show. Go to our YouTube, click that bell icon so you can be notified of upcoming episodes. And we'll holler at you next time. Peace.